in order to change Washington. Now, I think that it is important that we understand that 2012 is about a lot more than defeating Barack Obama. We need to beat him, but we also need to pick up 12 seats in the U.S. Senate. And we need to pick up 30 or 40 seats in the House. I know that Senator Chambliss and Senator Isaacson are here, and they will both tell you that if we had 12 more Republican U.S. Senators, we would begin to really change things in Washington because we would have working control of the Senate and we could stop the left from filibustering real change. Now, I've twice participated in very big change elections. In 1980, as a freshman, I worked with Ronald Reagan. We had the first Capitol steps event in history. Many of you will remember that Mac Mattingly was the underdog, and he won at 4 o'clock in the morning when the last count precincts came in. We won control of the Senate that year by 75,000 votes in 6 states. That's how narrow it was. In 1994, 2 weeks before the election, the two leading Washington analysts said the most the House Republicans could get were 26 seats. They were exactly 100% wrong. We picked up 54. We did it with a contract with America. We did it with a positive campaign. We did it by telling the truth. I need your help. I need your help later on today voting. I need your help from now until the Georgia primary. I need your help all the way through. But I'm not here to ask you to be for me. Because if you're for me, you'll vote and you'll go home and you'll say, I sure hope he can fix it. I'm here to ask you to be with me because I need your help every day for 8 years, changing the country. My granddaughter and grandson are down here with some of their friends, and they're my permanent reminder that politics is not about 30-second attack ads. It's not about clever strategies. It's not about who can raise the most money. Frankly, if raising the most money is the issue, Barack Obama will be reelected. Because as president, he will raise more money than we will. But politics is about the truth and about the future of our country. Callista and I had a long conversation that involved all of our family in whether or not to run. It was a hard decision. We knew that initially the news media would be very hostile. We're both glad to be here today. We're both glad to see so many friends. But we made the decision not because we thought it would be easy, but because we thought it was necessary. We need a candidate who can tell the truth better than the Democrats can lie. We need a candidate who can stand on the same debate platform next October with Barack Obama, look him in the eye and say, Mr. President, you are the most effective food stamp president in American history. Because your policies of class warfare and bureaucracy bureaucratic socialism have killed more jobs and put more Americans on food stamps than any president in American history. But we also need a candidate who can then outline what we need to do. Because we don't just need to be anti-Obama. We need to be pro-jobs. We need to be pro-national security. We need to be pro-American exceptionalism. We need to communicate the positive American future that is possible if we do the right things. Ronald Reagan knew how to do that. And I always remind people, if you doubt how effective Ronald Reagan was, show me the map that has the Soviet Union on it. It doesn't exist because his policies worked. Reagan's economic policies, which I helped pass, would have created in the current economy 25 million new jobs over 7 years. When I was Speaker, our policies had the largest entitlement reform in your lifetime. Our policies cut taxes and brought unemployment down to 4.2%. And I'll be glad to campaign next year on the Gingrich 4.2% unemployment versus the Obama 9.2% unemployment, and let the country decide which future is a better future. With your help and support, we balanced the federal budget for 4 straight years. We paid off $405 billion while cutting taxes, not raising them. Let me say one last thing about where we are, because I need your help now. I'd love to have your help in the campaign. Please go to newt.org. It's pretty simple. It's my first name.org. We need you to go there, sign up. We need you to be volunteers. Our office in Georgia is going to be helping. In Iowa, it's going to help. In New Hampshire, it's going to help. In South Carolina, it's going to help. In Florida, it's very important to have our volunteers help us. And then when we get to the Georgia primary, obviously we need your help to carry Georgia. But I want your help right now. And I want to say something that's very different from normal candidates. This country is in trouble. It's in trouble in the Middle East. It's in trouble in the economy. It's in trouble competing with China. It's in trouble with centralized bureaucrats in Washington who are trying to reduce us from citizens to subjects. It's in trouble with secular judges who are anti-religious and do not understand America. The time to change is now, not in January 2013, because if we wait around, we may slide into an even deeper depression, and we may have even millions more unemployed, and we can't afford to wait for some bright new future a year and a half from now. So I want you to help me. I want you to go home, and on Monday I want you to call the Georgia delegation, and I want you to tell the Georgia delegation there are positive things we can do in September that we could do right now. And I'm going to give you just 2 examples. But I want you to understand how serious this is. We need leadership now, and as a presidential candidate, I intend to lead now, not just promise I'll lead someday in the distant future if maybe something good happens. Congress should immediately pass 2 bills, and it should immediately set up a unique, new kind of hearings. And let me explain both. 2 Democratic senators, Webb and Warner, have introduced a bill for Virginia that says Virginia can develop gas and oil offshore, and the money from that will be split 50% to the federal government, 37.5% to the Commonwealth of Virginia, 12.5% for land conservation and infrastructure. The House Republicans, the first week they come back, should pass that bill with no amendments to take a Democratic bill that's right, pass it as a bipartisan act, send it to Harry Reid in the Senate and say to him, are you going to stop a bill that uses American energy to create American jobs to increase federal revenue that was introduced by 2 Democratic senators? Now I think Reid's going to cave. And when they pass that bill and they send it to the president, they're going to say to Obama, are you going to veto a bill that uses American energy to create American jobs to increase federal revenue? And we'll know then whether or not he's suicidal, because in this economy, for the president to veto that bill would be an act of giving. He might as well quit running for re-election if he is dumb enough to veto that bill. Negotiating. I didn't suggest White House meetings. I didn't suggest people go and do clever things. I suggested action now. Second, the House should pass the repeal of the Dodd-Frank bill, which is killing business, killing banks, killing housing. They should pass that repeal the first week they're back. Not a single Republican voted for it last year. If it was that bad last year, it's that bad this year. Kill it now, send it to the Senate, and challenge the Democrats to run for re-election. You want to help the economy or you want to get defeated? Either solution works, but it's better for America if you help the economy. Lastly, I am personally deeply opposed to the Committee of 12. I think the idea of a super committee... makes no sense. That means that 97% of the American people are without representation. My newsletter this coming week is going to say no taxation without representation. We're going to have a map of the U.S. based on being on the super committee. Michigan will be the biggest state in America because it has the most members. Montana will be bigger than New York because it has a member. This is crazy. What the Congress ought to do in September, they have 217 committees and subcommittees. If everyone would find $7 billion over 10 years in their area, they would save everything they want the super committee to save. And what they ought to do is hold hearings on a management system called Lean Six Sigma. It's used by Boeing, it's used by parts of the military. I was at a factory in New Hampshire that used it 2 days ago. We believe it will save $500 billion a year. That is 3 times the amount the super committee is trying to save without any secret negotiations. So do me a favor and do America a favor. Call your delegation on Monday and tell them, pass the Webb-Warner bill immediately, repeal Dodd-Frank in the House immediately, start the right hearings on the right topics, get power away from the Committee of 12, have every member do their job. Let's get this done. And then, having provided leadership now, I would ask you to go to Newt.org and sign up and help us win the nomination so we can have a second contract, so we can beat Obama in the debates, so we can have the most decisive, one-sided election in modern history, replace the left decisively for the first time since 1932. With your help, and only with your help, we will be able to do this. I need you, starting with your vote today, and I need your voice. Email all your friends, Facebook all your friends. If we get Americans in a partnership so they are with us, we will get America back on the right track. Thank you, good luck, and God bless you.